Today we're going to do a little discussion on when a garden pumpkin or a backyard pumpkin is ripe, and the difference between that and when a giant pumpkin is ready to be picked, because they ripen early in their life and you don't pull them until you are ready to show them at some competition somewhere. So anyway, this is a backyard pumpkin. This is jack-o'-lantern. This was our first big one to form. And as you see, it's turning orange. Now, I'm not going to pull it just yet, but I will pull it probably within a week. There's a couple of reasons for that. The moment a jack-o'-lantern or a backyard pumpkin starts to ripen, it means it's not growing anymore. Now, the difference between that and a giant pumpkin, like I said, giant pumpkins, you keep growing till the day you pull them. And they ripen early in their life. So they're the color they're going to be from early on in their life. So all you need to do is wait until the day before the competition or the week before or whatever, and load them up on the truck and haul them away. So I've heard, the reason I'm mentioning this is a lot of people wonder when to pick their pumpkins, and like I'm wondering with midnight. I don't know when to pick that pumpkin because it's little and it turns blacker as it grows older, but I don't know when black is black. Right now it's just dark green. So yeah, that is what you do with a jack-o'-lantern or a garden pumpkin or backyard pumpkin. You pull it the moment it starts turning ripe. Well, not the moment, unless it's late fall and you have no other choice. Let it get a little bit orange and then pull it and store it, and it will ripen in storage. Don't let anyone tell you differently. This is going to lead me to the next subject of this video, is stress. When I was the head of a pumpkin growing group on Facebook, I noticed a lot of giant pumpkin growers stressing out needlessly people who are just growing pumpkins in their backyard by insisting that they leave them on the vine until they were, so orange that they were about to strobe light orange or something like that. These people simply, none of the giant pumpkin growers that I have mentioned in my comments, not my comments, in my video description, none of them have done this. But you will find well-meaning giant pumpkin growers online who will do this. They will insist on imposing giant pumpkin rules on backyard pumpkins. And as I've said several times, it's just not necessary. Now, I just saw where we have a second jack-o'-lantern. And it's difficult to get over here right now. Second jack-o'-lantern that looks like it's starting to turn. Once again, this one's a little behind the other one. It's not going to grow anymore. And it's starting to rain, isn't that lovely? Not going to grow anymore, and I will be pulling it within a week. So we will have two pretty good sized pumpkins. Those are not the biggest I've seen, but pretty darn good. Probably because the conditions have been outrageous. It is so hot. This is the first decent day, except that it's raining. First decent day we've had in a long, long time around here. Okay, what else do we have? Butter baby. We got at least 5 of those. They get about that big. Over here. And then there's my hand. Because my hand always gets huge compared to the, yeah. It's a good 6 inches, 7 inches long. That's about as long as it'll get, and then it'll turn orange. And You can pick it and leave it in storage for several months. Okay, I'm going to sign out for just a minute, and then I'm going to come back and talk about stress. I have a lot of dogs that are stressed out. They want treats, so I'll be right back. Try to get out of the rain here and talk about stressed out gardeners, because I have seen not one but at least 2 videos lately of a gardener sitting there with his head in his hands declaring he's going to give up. And people, gardening is for relaxation, okay? Don't be type A about it, okay? Just relax and have fun, because thankfully we're still living in a society where you can go to the store and buy some food if you need it. Maybe that'll change, I don't know. But in the meantime, there's no reason to stress over gardening. If you lose everything, you just try again next year. That's what Steve's Garage did when all of their giant pumpkin vines died. Just shrugged and went on. That's what you should do in a garden. You're out here to have fun, not to stress. And the reason I'm bringing this up is, like I said earlier, back in the days when I was on Facebook, people were stressing out other people about growing a jack-o'-lantern for your kid for Halloween. Oh my God, you missed getting out in the yard and pollinating the pumpkin at 5 o'clock in the morning. No, you didn't. Here's the thing. Pumpkins are native to North America. Honeybees are not. There are a million pollinators out here. You don't essentially need to pollinate your pumpkin unless you're trying to grow the perfect big pumpkin or the perfect small pumpkin. Then you have to go out there and do it yourself to make sure that the pollination is done thoroughly. Okay, but you don't need to fuss. You don't need to prune the vines just so. You don't need to guide the vines just so. You don't need to feed the vines just so. Let's just calm down, okay? Gardening is for fun. Garden pumpkins are for fun. If you want to grow a giant pumpkin, you want to grow a giant garden pumpkin, then you followed all those rules that you see on YouTube. I would never follow anything I see on Facebook. Just don't stress yourself. Just do what you want to do. Have fun. Follow some of what I'm saying here, because I can save you from losing everything year after year. But don't get excited, okay? What you're going to get at the end of the year is just fun. You're going to get a few pumpkins, and you know, your kids will be excited, or you'll be excited. I never grew up. I never had kids, and you know, I love getting pumpkins. So that's all we're saying here, is growing backyard pumpkins is not like growing giants, and there's no need to stress. And don't let anyone try to stress you out. If they are going into too much fuss and you don't want to go there, question them, okay? Don't feel bad about it. You don't need to fuss over backyard pumpkins any more than you need to fuss over backyard tomatoes. That's my message here. Okay, folks? All right, I'll talk to you next time, probably about not fussing about GMOs. Talk to you later.